All right, we're going to be going over parting wings today. This is against a two-hand grab or an attempted choke from the front. This is the beginner's version of it. Before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you guys like working different concepts with Kenpo techniques or working what-if phases or just beginner drills to help teach your students, you can take some of these drills and use them at your own school or put your own flavor on those drills. You guys are welcome to do however you want. But we're back at you with another Kenpo Banga, which is parting wings. All right. Now, keep in mind, these are the beginner versions. Now, if you guys have any request videos, shout them out to me. You know, like I did get a lot of response from the Evading the Storm videos. Good stuff. Some Facebook stuff, maybe some comments on the YouTube channel. Talking about, you know, maybe intention, hitting with the club, going full speed. Now, we do that training. If you guys don't know, we do that training. And yeah, I've been hit with the club before. It's not fun, but that's how we learn. Now, obviously, the Kenpo techniques are ideal phases in motion that teach us how to at least escape, evade, check, and being able to close the distance. So, not to take too much time away from parting wings, but yes, just like in free sparring and free fighting, when you're freestyle and fighting, your Kenpo techniques, you're not going to be going 1, 2. You know, you might go block, punch, or, you know, follow up with another strike that might resemble motion of a different Kenpo technique, right? But motion is motion, okay? And checking is checking. So if you can check someone, if you get clipped and you check someone, and hopefully it wasn't a major hit, it was a minor hit, then at least it's teaching us how to learn how to follow up and check a weapon, an arm, a leg, a tackle, a limb. Okay, so keep in mind that type of training and those videos are a totally different video. If you guys are interested in that, leave a comment down below, comment on that subject, and I will put up videos on that training from there. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go to parting wings against two-hand high push, beginner version. This is how we teach, how I teach it to just a beginner, ideal phase, okay? Don't go fast right away because, you know, you got to remember we're teaching beginners. So what we're going to do is I like to split up the center and come out. So as I come up, my hands are going to part. That's where parting wings comes from. So as I step my right foot back, I come up the center and I execute two hand swords in front of me. Two hand swords are outward blocks, okay? Now, my hands are in front. We don't want this hand too far back because that hand can come in. The attempted grab can smother this arm and you can get hit. So I keep them here so that way I have this resistance. Now, I can slice here with my left finger to the eye. That could be beginner or more advanced, depending. Now, as I take this motion here and slice, I'm going to take this hand and directly strike downward to this 45-degree angle. So from here, I'm going to shoot down into the bow stance, forward bow, as I slice and chamber this arm, assuming that the rib shot caved the guy this way. Okay, so if this arm is still up, then I could shoot here and keep this arm as a check. But I'm going to assume that the slice to the eye brought the hand back here, and this shot brought the elbow down. Okay, so hopefully this caused some pain, broke some ribs. Now, in this case, I can grab onto his ribs, to his skin. So I can manipulate him now, clench, grab to the flesh, and shoot this as a rebound while I rip and using opposing forces and then traveling straight in depth here. Right to the left neutral bow, ride the check down to set up my solar plex shot right to the sternum. Okay, this is checking, bow stance, and we clear out. Okay, so that's our ideal version for the beginners. Okay, now the eye slice, it can be there. If it's too advanced for the beginner, then just working motion, just being able to go from here and then back, shooting back out. So again, we have a couple different things we're teaching. As a beginner, we got to first show them how to hand sword with their backhand. So and the other techniques, we were hand swording inwardly with our front arm. And now we're being shown how to do it with our back arm. So purple belt is teaching us a lot of how to rear arm block to rear hand strikes. So that's giving the beginner student in the purple belt stages how to get control of their limbs and become more of the mechanical stage, right? So being able to take bob, for example, would be the first thing if you have a bob bag at your school or you're just teaching someone in general. So set them up. So my hands are here. I'm going to take this down diagonal, striking his ribs and writing that check down. Now I don't really, some I've seen loop and follow it up that way, and it might work for some of you guys. You can take this right hand and have a little looping motion of it, or you can just go right into the strike here, right into the floater. So I can go from this point of origin, as this slices, I can shoot and rebound here. So once again, that idea. So now I have the hand sword to the neck, pressing down and punch. Now, in this case, I would have them just do a regular vertical instead of a knuckle fist. That way they can work their alternating maces. Okay, so once again, I would just have the beginner students work on one. Work on this, so as they go here, and then from here, here. That's what creates speed, power, timing, and accuracy. Being able to work all these different phases. Checking the depth of your attacker and being able to use the path of least resistance of their motion to set up your next motion. And then what we're going to do is I'll take some small bags right now and we'll show you how to do it on a body with a partner, like if you're teaching someone. And our version of it was 2 noodles as well. So I'm going to show you once again what I would have them do is just work on this here and chamber. Okay, and then from there you can pretend to have them grab, rip, and sword. Okay, so everybody's ideal is different. If you don't teach it with a grab, that's fine with me. You can just teach it with a strike, whichever works. If you don't teach it with a slice, that works too. I'll even throw in a double slice. If I see here, I have the double slice here, try to get their hands occupied coming up to open up the ribs and then take advantage of those openings. So let's go ahead and let's get to body partner drills with bags. All right, and we're back. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of handbag drills. I love handbags, it just works so good. So handbag drills with parting wings, working the timing and accuracy. This is more for beginners, how they can learn how to get in control of their arms and simultaneous motion, which purple belt's all about. Simultaneous, mathematical precision, those ideas. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna step back, do our part, right? So Mrs. Perez here, she's going to go ahead and demonstrate the basics to the bags. So she'll start in her parting her wings. So as she steps back already, she has it parted. Now, I take this here and she's going to drive it down 1, and that shoots the bag here. So what I can do now is she'll be parted here. The hands are in front. Okay, and she'll step back in her stance, keep the hands forward. Now, from there, as I walk in, she's going to strike here. Okay, that way she can hit the bag with accuracy. And go. Okay, and go. And then that's what I would have a student do. You can even have them fake a little bit, and then they have to strike. Now, as they hit the first shot, so they'll hit, and then they strike 2. Now, they can work just on speed. They'll reset. And then they can work on the speed of the 1-2. Okay? And once again, go. Okay? And go. Okay? And that's the idea. And they'll hit the first shot, 1, 2, and back vertical punch, 3. Okay? So they're going to do all 3 motions. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And on this, I would just have them do a vertical punch and not do the knuckle, because that way they can hit with solid force. So we have 1, 2, 3. That way they can hit the bags. Now they just go, say move, and then they can just keep working this on a body. Go. Okay, and go. And go. And then we want to have the rebound, so the pop pop. So if we have that pop pop, that gets the spring action for the outward sword. So we have the first shot and then spring. Okay, so do that again. We'll just spring it back. 1, 2. There you go. And 1, 2. And 1, 2. Okay? That way they can hit something. They can hit something quick. Okay? So now we'll take the noodles as they, like if someone was grabbing. So that's pandemic, so we still got to be careful with the body touch, that idea. Then you can use bags, same effect. Now we're going to take 2 noodles, use them as also the grab, okay? So actually I like these better than the noodles. You can also put these inside the noodles if you want more of a cushion, like for like kids or you know, things like that. If you're teaching young children, then you can put like more cushion. For adults or so, if you want to have some quarantine but feel like still something solid, these rubber clips work great. You can use PVC pipes as well. Those work good as well. So anyways, let's go through the club parts. So if I come in here, she's going to step back and part. 1, okay? And just working that, and I would push in to see if I can collapse her hands, okay? Again, if this arm comes back way too far, she's going to have no choice, and that's going to get her, okay? I got to be careful, but obviously that's what's going to happen. So you don't want to bring that back arm too far. It should create a heart shape. Once I go here, I should have a heart shape. So that's from the universal patch, we have that heart motion. Okay, so once again, she steps back, I come in, boom, okay? And same idea, I come in, she just parts out. Okay, I can fake, you know, because these are my extensions, I come in, boom, okay? And that's the idea. Now, as she takes the first step back, she can then hit the air. She doesn't have to hit me. And that gives the idea of how to travel here, stay in the center of these 2 arms that are parted. And now from here, she sends the chop and then pushes down for the check in vertical. Okay? So that's one way you can use for the clubs, is as a method of quarantine, which is, you know, we're in right now, contact. Use some props. Guys, we got to be creative when we teach our Kenpo. You know, I know it's hard sometimes because we want to get in there and move them around and stuff like that. But I know some schools, and depending on some areas, there, you know, we have to be, you know, careful, and you know, people also want to make sure they're being safe. So just be creative, make it fun, and even kids are going to enjoy it. You know, they're going to have fun with that. So making it to the next thing is we're going to do body time. So now let's just go into like where people don't mind applying the technique on a body. All right, so if I come in, she does the 2 chops, so we have 1 here, and obviously we're going here, and if she springs this first hand sword in, 1, okay, 2, neck, and then checks for the punch, okay? So, again, we have the part, and we're not going to bring that hand back too far. So if I come in and try to grab her here, you know, she's feeling resistance here. Now, if she chops here, go ahead and chop, and then this hand still can nick, can come in and punch her in the face. This hand can still punch right to the head if it's not being checked. So we're assuming this chop is going to check this arm, but it might not. But that's why I like adding a slice to the eye. So when she steps back and does the first block, the first 2 here, and she starts to slice this eye, hopefully that gives me this here. She has that angle check, and then she can hit here, and that creates this. Okay, so I like to add a little eye slice in there. But if we're relying on that inward hand sword being extremely effective, then we might not need it depending on how devastating this sword is. Okay, so I'm going to do it now. So we'll switch places. So so she'll attack me. So when the attacker comes in, we have the first shot here, 1 here. So I'm filling here. So this right here, this left eye slice is just perfect. Right to the ribs, and that concave here. Now, if it checks my other hand, I can just push here and check her, and I can just strike her in the solar plex. So my left hand can become a check. Now we're going into what ifs now, so I want to keep it ideal. So we're going to go ideal, up 1, here, 2, here. This can stay up. Now, if we hit this part hard, that can cave her here. That's what we're hoping, that our arms can slightly drop, so that way this is not going to be striking me in the face. Now I can come up, right up here, check down, and then hit her in the solar plexus from there. Okay? Ideally, I know some people, they just stand there like this. So, for example, this, just stand there, no reaction. So we got 1 here. Okay? That's good for just accuracy training. That's great to just pinpoint your shots with good control, teaching the student how to strike without having a reaction and just working their timing. That's a different type of training. That shouldn't be taught really as ideal as an attacker coming in and just standing there like that. Okay, sometimes Kenpo gets criticized for that. So if I have her, and I'll have you do the technique, and I'm not going to react. So if I come in, she does one, and then do the move. Okay, that's really not how, that's more of how good the person has control. Their speed is showcasing more speed, control, and power, and things like that, and where they're hitting the targets. But if we add reaction, that's really what the student needs to benefit from now, and why these techniques are there, and why they make sense. So she comes in. So I got one here, and if I hit her hard, right there, that could happen. If I hit the person super hard, maybe, they can lean over. That sets up the next shot. One here, pulls. Now, if the hands start to come up, then I check them down here. So if I know those hands are coming up or she's backing up, I check, and then there's my strike to the solar plexus, okay? So ideally, we're expecting some sort of reaction. Now, what if is, well, what if the arm doesn't drop? What if I didn't go this way? What if I didn't go that way? Well, that's why the what ifs. But we need to have some sort of ideal. So that is our ideal. So I like to add in the slice as a safety precaution because I always would consider this being an issue too. If she does the two chops and I came in, try to grab her here, and she hits me here, then now I can try to grab her here. That would be something instinctively I would do. So if someone hit me in the rib, I might go, ugh, but I'm using my other arm to grab. There's a guarantee I'm going to use my right arm. So the slice eliminates that right arm, okay? So if I come in here and she chops one and then slices and hits the ribs at the same time, that right there is going to back me up, and this could be my reaction. It might be that, right? But at least this hand has been checked because that eye got cut. You got sliced in the eye, right? If someone poked me in the eye, I'm gonna be like that, and then it gives her that time to shoot the neck and then shoot the chest. Okay, so that's how I teach it ideally. I didn't talk too much about the flesh grab yet. For now, we'll talk about that in the next video. So guys, those are some ideas of how I will teach parting wings in the ideal phase, and using the method of that forward bow, the eye slice to assist the other arm. If you guys have other feedback or other ways you do it and how you control a limb, an arm, or things like that. Now, if we're going into the what if, that's a different category. So you guys talk to me about your ideal way of teaching, not your what ifs. What ifs are gonna be for the advanced video. Now, if you want to talk about what ifs, we can. All right. But remember, one ideal is not the only ideal. So I want you to guys, that's something I've learned, and that's something I've opened my mind up to. Everybody's ideal phase technique could be different. And that to us would be the what if version of that technique. Okay? So some people might go like, this is how I do my ideal because of this. And well, what that means to me, if it's not the same as my version, I'm going to take that as a what if, or maybe add it. If it's better, then I might keep it. So be ready for that, guys. But anyways, share your thoughts. Like this video. Give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. We're at 1,300 strong right now. I plan on by the end of the year, let's get to 2,000 subscribers, guys. If you missed anything, just leave a comment down below, and we look forward to handling that. All right. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Click on the bell and subscribe to the YouTube channel.